We have someone else, and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about taking control of our lives because I have had a few people reach out to me recently who are struggling with their lives, and people are having a difficult time just getting by. They're taking things personally. A friend of mine reached out recently, and she's being bullied at work. I mean, she's being bullied at work. Here she is, a grown adult, and there's somebody on her team that's giving her a hard time and making her feel smaller than she actually is. She's a wonderful person, just a beautiful soul, but she's taking this personally. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about adult bullying because it goes on a lot more than we might imagine. I put a post on it recently, and when you are an adult and you're doing your very best, nobody has the right to talk down to you. Nobody has the right to make you feel inferior. Some people just absolutely love making other people's lives miserable. Some people live for it. It's that kind of stuff. They just get off on it. But I'm going to tell you something. Nobody's got that right. Nobody's got the right to put you down or try to make you feel less than you absolutely are. And one of the ways in which we can handle bullying is just stop people right in their tracks. If somebody goes to speak down to you or begins to speak down to you, it's all right for you to just to raise your hand, just open palm, as though you're going to speak, and just say, just a moment, please. Listen, I'm happy to have a conversation with you. Happy to speak to you, happy to converse with you, but I will not be spoken down to. If you're open to having a respectful conversation, then let's carry on. If not, I don't have time, and I will not be spoken down to. So give that a try, because we really teach people how to treat us, don't we? We teach people how to treat us. If we are so much into pleasing people and just being going out of our way to make people like us, then people are going to take advantage of that. They're going to take advantage of people who are people pleasers. So the important thing to remember is that you're just as special as everybody else. There's nobody in this entire planet of, almost 8 billion people that we have now. Used to be 7 billion for the longest time, but boy, oh boy, we have been adding some souls to this world. And you are just as important, as special, as amazing as any one of those souls out there. You want to know something about you? I'm going to tell you this, is that you beat out about 400 million sperm to actually get to the egg and become the person that you are today. So how's that for being competitive and for actually having been here? Like to be here is a remarkable, it is a blessing. But a lot of people don't see it as blessings, and a lot of people, regrettably, are living very hard lives. They're so hard on themselves. Well, the title of my talk here today is Taking Control of Your Life. It is really about mattering to you. At the end of the day, the only person that we should really be concerned about that cares about us is ourselves. It really is ourselves. And let me ask you, are you being your best self? Are you doing the very best things for yourself? And are you living up to the person that you want to be? And this is all in taking control of our lives. I'm going to say something. For example, let's say that I wanted to, a lot of people struggle with their weight. A lot of people say, hey, I wish I were 15 pounds lighter. I wish I would lose this weight. Well, the first thing is that you're going to be specific about what it is that you want to do. You want to lose fat, not weight necessarily, because muscle weighs more than fat and you want to keep muscle, right? You want to be able to use your joints. You want to be able to, you want to be able to continue moving around. And I'm swiping on this because it's telling me to. It's okay. I'm going to talk about the weight. Let's go back to that. It is something that you're specific about. I want to lose this weight. Now, this can apply to anything. I want this job. I want to ask this person out. I want this. I want that. Be specific about what it is that you want. I'm going to use the example of weight for a moment because a lot of people tend to struggle with that. I am. Start using I am. I am going to lose that weight. And why not try this? Why not already tell yourself, I am a fit person? Now, you may not be, but tell yourself you are. And start acting as though you are a fit person. So when you wake up in the morning, if you tell yourself, I'm a fit person, and you have a specific goal in mind, what does a fit person do? Well, they watch their diet. They cut out certain things out of their diet and they bring in certain things, good foods, into their diet. A fit person also works out. They go for walks. They do some exercising. They exercise their body and they behave like fit people. So this is an example of taking control of a weight issue that you may have. Begin to believe that you are already fit and do the actions that an already fit person does. Watch what you eat. Make sure that you are eating the proper foods and cutting out the stuff that doesn't get you to where you want to be. Do the exercises. Take those walks and start acting like you are a fit person. Use I am statements. I am fit. I am able. I am capable. And believe it or not, this stuff works. It really does. It is taking control of a facet of your life and making sure that you are very specific about what you're going to do. So, talked a little bit for those of you joining. Thank you so much. I'm just going to, any comments? Hey, nice to see you, Isabella. Nice to see you, Cody. And we've got Rob who joined earlier as well, and Caro. So thank you guys for being here. We have Maverick and a number of other people. So thanks for joining. Now, really want to get back to taking control of our life. For those of you who are just joined, I was talking a little bit about bullying. I have a friend, an adult friend. She's just a beautiful woman and just such a beautiful soul too. She's in her 50s and she is working in a professional setting. She has someone at work who's bullying her. And I was talking about how many adults bully, and they like to bully, and they don't mind making other people feel less than themselves because they want to feel like they've got the power and control. Well, I want to tell you something. Power and control is something that we choose. We choose our power and we choose how to control ourselves. We choose how to respond to things. Somebody may talk down to you at work, and I'm using that as an example because that's what my friend called me about. When she was faced with this woman who started to make her feel less than herself and started to scold her, she didn't speak up for herself. She kind of took it. She was a little bit afraid of the consequences. I'm going to say this, that as adults, we have the right to stop someone right in their tracks when they speak down to us. We have the right to put up our hand when we feel that we're being belittled or we feel that we're being poorly judged or spoken harshly to. We can raise our hand and say, hey, would you just give me a moment here? I'm all right with you talking to me or you giving me some suggestions or whatever it is that you want to say. However, I'm not all right with the way that you're speaking to me. I will not be spoken to that way. And if you would like to have a respectful conversation, then that's all right. We can talk in that fashion. We can have that conversation. Otherwise, I'm not open to listening to you. So that would be the way in which to handle that. And it's all right to be doing that. Again, this is really about taking control and taking charge of who you are and what you bring to this world. I also talked a little bit about managing yourself and living up to the best you that you can possibly be. If you're looking to change something in your life, if you have done some serious evaluation, and I believe that we should all do this from time to time, it was Socrates, I believe, who once said that an unexamined life is a life not worth living. And I believe that we do have to examine our lives from time to time. We have to take half an hour on a slow day, sit down with a piece of paper and a pen maybe, and just write some of the things that are going well in your life and some of the things that are not going well in your life. The things that are going well in your life, you want to celebrate those, man. You want to say, yes, I did that. It's amazing. I accomplished this, or this relationship is going well, or my job is going well, or I'm fit. I celebrate these wonderful things. And on the list that's not working out, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it is that weight, maybe it is something that needs to be addressed, then you have to ask yourself, how important is this to me? If it's a relationship, how important is this relationship to me? Is this someone that I want to be closer to, or is this someone who's toxic? This is where the evaluation starts to come in. If they're toxic people, get them off the list. If there's someone, if it's a relationship that's strained, if it needs attention, then what are you ready to do about it? What are you going to do to mend the fences, to build the bridges? Are you going to take specific action? Is there something that you need to change in your behavior? And be brutally honest with yourself. Just be honest. Like, I owe that person an apology. I owe that person an explanation, or I owe that person a meeting, or just tell that person how much they matter to me and that I would like our relationship to be closer. What is it that I can do to help make this relationship that much better? I care about you. I whatever it may be. But take a look at those things and ask yourself this question: how bad do you want it? And this goes with anything. This goes with how bad do you want that job? How bad do you want that date? How bad do you want your relationship to work out? How bad do you want to lose that weight? How bad do you want to get strong and healthy? It comes down to how bad you want it and what you're ready to put into it. Because we get what we give. Whatever we put out, we're going to receive that in return, and that much more. And it's true. The universe is listening, pal. It is listening to us. It is, if we say, hey, listen, I am a believer that great things are coming my way. This is something that's called pronoia as well. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But when we send a message out to the universe hears us. And if we start to believe in ourselves, like today is going to be a great day, today I am in control, today I've got everything going on, I'm good, I'm fantastic. You say these I am statements in the morning, your mantras, you get ready for the day, you get ready to tackle it on, and you tell the universe this: bring me good things because I am open to them. And when you have this energy that is being broadcasted from you, because we're all energy folks, and we broadcast a certain amount of energy out to other people and out to the universe. So if you're broadcasting on a low level, you're going to get low level stuff. It's just the way it is. You get what you give. But if you've got this energy and you are pouring it out and saying, come on, universe, bring me the best that you have to offer, then believe me, things are going to start to change. It works that way. It's amazing how much it works that way. Now, I was talking about pronoia and paranoia. Paranoia is the belief that the world is out to get you, that everybody is conspiring against you. Its opposite is called pronoia. So not paranoia, but pronoia. Pronoia is the belief that the world is conspiring for you. And this is the thing that we must do. I should leave, right? I'm just going to move here because you're doing some some. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now I'll just move. I'll just give you a little bit of space, but I'm just going to take this.
Okay. I promise not to water you.
Okay. All right. No, that's good. That's good. No. We'll just move. I'm on a rooftop here and speaking to you from the rooftop, and some flower watering is getting done. But I was talking about the importance of really being positive about life. We got choices to make, and we can either be positive or we can be negative. That's up to us. Nobody can tell us how to feel. Nobody can make us do anything that we don't want to. Well, generally speaking, anyways. But we really do have to take control of our lives and be responsible for ourselves. And I just got to get one more thing. But that comes down to you. Comes down to what kind of quality of life do I want? Am I going to let the words and the thoughts and the actions of others affect me, or am I going to take control of my life and do it my way? You know, there's that song "My Way" by. Yep, got it. See, she's watering. Yeah, there's that song "My Way." I did it my way, but we really do have to kind of do things our way, because if we let other people run our lives, then we're not going to have the greatest life possible, and that really is up to us. I've often said it in many of my talks. I've spoken about this. At the end of my life, I don't want to be visited by the ghost of missed opportunities who tell me, hey, you know what, if you would have done this differently, or if you would have said that, or if you would have written this book, the things that are in your heart, if you would have done this, if you would have done that, look how your life would have turned out. And then they show me like a screen with my life as it could have been. No, I don't want the ghosts of missed opportunities to surround my bedside on my deathbed. I want the ghosts of rock and roll, the ones who say, yeah, man, you did it. We're coming back with you next time around. You know, you got it going on. And I'm talking to everybody out there who may have a dream that they haven't made come true. Maybe you've got a book in you, and maybe you've got a song in you. Maybe you want to be creative. Maybe you want to do some acting. Maybe you want to do some traveling. Whatever it is, you can take control and do it. Just try. Because again, I don't want you to be surrounded by the ghost of missed opportunities who say, you could have written that book. It would have been who say, you could have written that book. It would have been a bestseller, or it would have reached somebody. It would have done something. I'm going to tell you an interesting story about me and my first book. And I've got a pretty exciting life, or have had a very exciting career. I was a hostage negotiator. I was an international peacekeeper. I was a detective, major crimes detective. And my life really reads like a blockbuster movie. My life was saved by terrorists in the Middle East. I've talked to terrorists off of 747 in Paris, France. I've gone after serial rapists. I've arrested all kinds of people. I had a cool job, and I did many things. And everybody kept telling me, man, you've got to write a book. You've got to write a book. You've got to write a book. And I don't want to write a book. What do I know about writing books? I don't want to write a book. I don't want to write a book. And that was my longest, for the longest time, people kept saying, your stories are like movies, man. Write a book. And I said, no. And then one day I was in between jobs. I had left my police career and I started doing some acting. And I was in between jobs. I was looking for something that could pay the bills, right? And I was sitting in my little office, in my room, and I heard this whisper. And I'm telling you, folks, whispers happen, and you should listen to them if they happen in your life. This whisper was almost as though somebody was in the room saying, write a book. And when I heard it, I knew I was alone in the room, and I'm looking around going, okay, all right, that was a whisper. And then the whisper said it again, write a book. Now, I'm not crazy, but I did start a conversation with this whisper. And it was just between me, myself, and the whisper. And I said, I don't want to write a book. I don't know how to write a book. And the answer was, write a book. So I thought about it. There's a whisper. I can hear that. It's a voice in my head. I don't know. But it was real to me. And I didn't know how to write a book. And so the next day I went to a bookstore and I picked up a book on how to write a book. And I read about the first 40 pages because back then I didn't really like to read and I thought I knew it. And I just started to type. I started to type what was coming to my mind. And I didn't know what I was going to write about it originally, but eventually what started to happen on paper was that some of my police and life experiences showed up on those pages along with the meaning and the lessons that I learned from them. And it was interesting because page after page were my personal stories along with my lessons, the lessons that I learned about life and from other people. And the title of the book was Hostage to Myself. And the premise of the book was this, that we can take ourselves hostage, just as real as a hostage taker takes their hostages and prevents them from moving about freely. We, our thoughts, can take us hostage and keep us from doing the things that we want to do in life. The point of telling you this story, though, is that it was a whisper. It was something that came to me, and I took a risk. I started writing a book, which I had previously not wanted to write at all. But I figured, okay, this whisper's telling me to do it. I'm going to do it. Who knows? Maybe I'll sell 40 copies to my family and friends. And it took me about, I'm sad to say, it took me about 2 years to write. And the reason was, at first, I wasn't a committed writer. I would only write for half an hour or an hour, and then I would leave it for a couple of days, and I'd come back a week later, and I'd start writing again, and kind of have to read what I had written before, and, just to catch up and take 2 weeks off. And then after about 8-9 months, I realized, wait a minute, dude, are you committed to this? Are you going to commit yourself to doing this? And if you are, tell somebody. Make yourself accountable to writing this book. You're halfway there, dude. What are you going to do? So I made a post on Facebook, and I said, I'm writing a book. And that's all I said. I had about 20 people answer that post and say, it's about time, Paul. It's about time. Then I became a committed writer. I made it a point to write every day. I made it a point to spend 2 hours writing at least, and writing at least one sentence that I was proud of. And once that book was written, I self-published. This is back in 2016, I believe it was, 2017. And it was a little bit different to self-publish back then. You had to jump through a lot more hoops than you do now. And it cost me a little bit of money to self-publish that book, but I got it out there. But you want to know something? This is how the universe works. This is how the universe works. I self-published that book, and I was right. About 30 or 40 people bought that book, and most of them were family and friends, but somebody else bought it. An editorial director for one of the biggest publishing houses in the world, HarperCollins, picked up a copy of my book and invited me to have coffee. And I met with this editorial director a few days later. He pulled out my book. He slid it across the table and he said, we want to publish this book worldwide. And I said, yes, you do. Again, being open to the gifts that the universe brings you. It is amazing that once you put yourself out there, you have no idea what is going to be returned to you. That book is now under a different title. It's published by HarperCollins, and it's called Take Control of Your Life, which is the topic of my talk here today. And this is what I'm sharing with you. You just never know. Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of missing out, because if you try, there's a good chance that good things will come out of it. And at the end of your life, you're going to be able to say, hey, I wrote a book, or I took that dancing course, or I became an actor, or I went on that trip. I put myself out there. These are the things that bring us the joy and the happiness and the fulfillment. It's the doers that get things done. The dreamers don't. If you're a dreamer and you have a book in you, or you have a song in you, or you have a gift in you that you're not sharing with others, you're really doing yourself a disservice, and you're also doing the world a disservice. Maybe somebody needs to hear what you have to say. Maybe somebody needs to appreciate the art or whatever it is that you bring to the world. And those are the things that make me keep going. Now, I said that I didn't want to write one book. I think last count, I finished my 6th book. And one of them is on negotiations. I just finished rewriting it and sending it out there, and it's going to be a very popular book on how to negotiate in life and business. It's a business negotiations book. Another one is on another mental health book called Reset, and it's about doing what I'm talking about right now, taking a moment to reset your life, to take a look at it and to examine it and to say, I need a reset. We all need a reset, and sometimes that's just a change of attitude, or that is just a mindset shift, but we all need to reset from time to time. So take a look at your life, see what's going well, see what's not going well. For the things that are going well, celebrate those wonderful, amazing things in your life. Just celebrate, give yourself a pat on the back. And when I say celebrate, don't go crazy. Don't go buying yourself great big things or eating extra cake, or especially if you're celebrating losing weight. You don't want to do that, right? But celebrate those little things. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself an yes, that's amazing. And begin to believe that your life is a direct result of what you put into it. What you put into it is what you get out of it. And don't worry about what other people say, or don't worry about how they may respond to you. What matters is what you say and how you respond to yourself. Treat yourself as though you were your best friend. Tell yourself good things and believe good things, and start cranking up that energy, that personal energy. I mentioned this earlier, that we are all energy, right? We're just these vessels of energy, and everything around us is made up of energy. I don't know if we are in the matrix or not, but we are energy, folks. And what we give, what energy we transmit to the world, is the energy that we're going to receive back in return. I'm going to use a little bit of a story as an example. Let's suppose that someone is going to a party and they're a low energy person. Like, man, I really don't want to go to this party. What do I got? And you could tell they're slouched, their heads down. They don't make eye contact with people too much. They're just going about life, and I really don't want to go. Who's going to talk to me? And all kinds of things. Like, what am I going to do? And so this person goes to the party, and there's 50, 60 people at this party. They go in, and again, their heads down, they're slouched down, they're low energy. They really don't believe in themselves. And so they walk in. People are going to start looking at who's coming to the party, and when they see this person, they're actually going to see a very big part of his or her energy. They're going to see how the head is down, how there's no eye contact, how maybe the shoulders are slouched, and they're not going to pay much attention to that person. So what that person was thinking about themselves is exactly what they're getting, because they're registering a very low vibration. They're not walking in with confidence. They're not walking in with awe and amazement and I can't wait to meet new people. They don't have that energy. All right, so they go into the room and they'll find themselves a corner, usually, maybe get a drink and find themselves a corner. And who do you suppose is going to be attracted to them? Probably somebody who walks in with their head down, their shoulders slouched, thinking the same thing. They might find themselves in the corner or an opposites corner, but they might attract that type of person to them who might just stand there and they're not going to have much fun. But if you are a person who, before you step into that party, you take a deep breath and you go, man, tonight's going to be amazing. I am going to meet new people. I'm going to share my stories. I'm going to share myself. I'm going to be engaged. And you walk in, what do you suppose is going to happen? People are going to look. They're going to see that your chin's up, your shoulders are back, you've got a smile on your face, and you're there to meet people and to engage with people. All people will be attracted to that energy. They will look at you, and many will want to be like you because they would love to see that energy coming out of themselves. But here's the thing, it can. You can turn that energy dial up. You can make those decisions. You can choose to go and be that person that you really want to be. And I'm going to end this conversation off just with a few parting thoughts. That when we choose to be deliberate about life, to be intentional about life, when we choose to start our days off with intention, and here's how I do mine, and it makes a big difference in my world, and I hope that you're doing the same. And if you're not, maybe you can pick up one or two things that might apply to you and that you can start doing and watch the changes. First thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I take a few moments to be grateful. Gratitude is a superpower. Gratitude, and we've got so much to be grateful for. Most of us do. And even those who are having hard times have something to be grateful for. One of the things that when I wake up and I express my gratitude is that I did wake up. I didn't die during the night. Just think about how many people across this globe who are engaged in war or who are victims of war, how they didn't get to see their next birthday. They didn't get to see the sunrise. They didn't get to see another day. I am grateful that I am not in these places. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that I can eat a meal a day. I'm grateful that I have family and friends and that I have my limbs and that I can walk and that I can exercise and that I can think and that I'm not in a vegetative state. So there's so many things that you can be grateful for. The other thing I do is what I talked about a little bit earlier, those positive mantras, those I am statements. I will start off by saying, today's going to be a great day. Nothing is going to get in my way. I'm not going to let anything get me down. Good things are coming. And then I go, I am amazing. I am powerful. I'm strong. I'm capable. And I am going to have just a fantastic day. Once in a while, I have to remind myself of those mantras partway through the day because, well, stuff can happen and stuff can get us down, right? So that, to me, are a few of my parting thoughts, and I'm glad that you joined me, and I hope that you got something out of this talk. I haven't done one of these in ages, and I hope that this actually saves to my profile. I don't know if it does or if it doesn't, but thank you all for joining, and I really appreciate. I see that, is it Rye Meg? Thank you very much. I saw that you just followed me, and I appreciate that. I'm really about living the best lives for ourselves and not being second to anyone, because whatever you put your mind to, it's amazing how much you can accomplish. And when I look at myself and the many things that I've been able to accomplish, is because I got off my butt and I did something about it. I wrote books. I am a keynote speaker. I wrote a film script that's going to be made into a movie, and it's not just a low-budget movie. Actually, the script is getting a lot of attention from some pretty big people, including a big actor who wants to play the lead role. And I'm just getting started, folks. There's so much more for me to do. I speak to large audiences all across the world on negotiations and on mental wellness and on positive thoughts. And so I'm leaving you with this positivity. Change that energy today. Crank up that dial. Be the person you want to be. Examine your life. What do you need to change? What are you willing to work on? How bad do you want it? And just get to it. All right. So come on with it. Take care, everyone. Sending you my best.